All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Merely Bo, the great Z. How you living, buddy?
I'm great, brother. I'm great. I really am.
Gross morning.
Disgusting.
Awful gross morning.
Fortunately, I didn't have any golf plans, so I'm not too affected.
Well, you would have needed a canoe.
Yeah. I think it'll be fine. As the good news is the ground is pretty dry, so it's got.
It's amazing,
some
isn't it?
absorption.
That it can take that in, take on what happened this morning, and then be fine like this afternoon, theoretically.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're looking at. So, no, I'm good. Got El Boods Bryce got his 8th grade graduation dinner tonight. So
mama!
Very exciting. Pumped for that.
Do they make that a big deal?
So it seems like it.
Okay,
we have like a big, and then we have a big ceremony on Friday.
Okay. Yes, I can tell you. Yes,
I don't remember.
I've been through 2 of them, and then my nephew. I think his is this week. There's a big ceremony, and then there's either a lunch or a dinner.
I don't.
Okay.
I didn't. It certainly was not this big of a deal when I was in 8th grade.
I could see Pedro bucking the trends and saying, "You'll have no party and like it."
Yeah.
It was a big deal for us, I think, because it was.
Well, this is a school dinner. This isn't like a special.
No,
right?
but
It's
like
every 8th grader and their families.
Oh, everybody's going.
It's every 8th grader and their.
So
parents.
this isn't just UNL.
No siblings though. It's just like
parents and kid.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't have anything like that, but I remember like 8th grade. It was such a rural. Where I grew up was so rural that 8th grade graduation happened at the same ceremony as the high school graduation. So they'd graduate the 8th graders, and then they would sit over in the side, and then they would graduate the high schoolers.
God, what a treat for you. Get to sit there and watch.
Just
thanks.
awful. But I think it was like a way to ensure that the gymnasium would be full.
Yeah.
That type of thing. So I remember like having an 8th grade graduation party, and because I was the oldest of my siblings, I was the first one, and I had no point of reference. And so the idea that I was getting 8th grade graduation gifts was remarkable that this was happening. But it did, and I do remember thinking like, well, like what are we? Do we really need to celebrate this? This feels like a layup.
Yeah.
That we're going to get to this point.
That's you're kind of where I'm at. I couldn't agree anymore.
Yeah.
It's in it. And listen, I think it's good. The kids have put some work in. Let's get some, celebration of them and their hard work. And now they are going to high school, and I think that's a big transition. It's a big transition.
So
Arden was thrilled with it. Yeah, I'm bummed. I'm not gonna have anybody drive to school anymore. I don't have to do that anymore.
That's true.
Because right now the middle school and the high school are in different spots. So
sure.
I still have been able to drive Bryce, but no more. That's it.
That's the end of it. Those car rides. I mean, that's 85% of the reason I coach is the car rides.
Yeah, it's a great quality time.
A little bit of quality
time.
Some
QT. Indeed.
A lot going on around here today.
There are some different things going on.
Things I don't normally see. You see, it happens. Yeah. So there you go. So that you got that going on, which is very nice. I can confirm that goat yoga was canceled today. They were not able to go through with the goat yoga.
Have you gotten a better handle on what
I think
goat
what they
yoga
do is they bring.
is?
I asked him, and I asked NBC, and he told me that we had to sign. Apparently, my wife signed some paperwork to okay him, and he had to say that I'm not afraid of goats. I think the goats like just kind of mingle around as you're doing yoga, which feels like a recipe for disaster with 6th graders.
This is insane.
And then the goats like maybe like walk on your back or something because they're little goats.
Come on.
They're not big goats. I don't know.
These are baby goats?
Are
they the goats?
I don't know.
Are they the goats that freeze? You know those goats?
No, I don't think they're those goats.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't know
those videos.
Frozen goats. What are you talking about?
What?
Frozen goats? A world of frozen goats?
What? Hold on.
They exist.
Hold on.
What are you talking about? Frozen goats?
The goats that literally freeze.
They just freeze and then they turn over like they're dead. They play dead.
Yeah.
Oh! As a means of avoiding attack.
Yeah.
Not actually frozen.
But have you ever seen it? No, they're not coming out of a freezer.
No. Yes, where they play. We used to play possum. Used to call it like you act like you're dead and you just donk.
By the way, broccoli, stay out of my tea. I got a piece and I can't get it, and it's killing me.
You need a water pick. It's the only way that's coming.
So I have it. Well, I have that at home.
Got that at home. You're not.
I don't have that
you're
here.
Not keeping a water pick here.
Yeah.
In the back.
No, maybe I will.
Yeah. So they did. Yeah. I have seen those guys where they play possum. I've seen that operation before, for sure. We also had. What do you got there?
I'm gonna pull up some frozen goats for you. Get some
I'm gonna
serious.
pull up some frozen goats.
Get
for
some
you.
serious.
I thought you were talking about like they were actually like in a freezer.
No, like they run and then they just go
And then
like.
stop. Zink. Bonk. It's probably those type of guys, and
They're just not having it.
it's probably just a. I'm sure that's
This
just
is
a,
great when it's all of them. It's just-
Yeah, it's just a means of like, don't get me.
You know what
I'm
it
already
feels though?
gone.
Like it feels like an easy way to get you. So you're
does
running
feel
away
like
from
that.
me, and now you're just going to turn around, belly up,
Probably
and expose.
because the majority of their predators chase.
Yeah,
Like the thrill of the chase is a part of it. And so the thinking is that like if you're being chased by a dog or a coyote or something like that, if you just fall over, then you will have less to be worried about, is my guess.
look at this guy. This guy's just walking down the street. This guy right here. He's just walking down the street. He doesn't really seem to be in any. This guy had a little danger. It felt like
Yeah,
this
this
guy's
guy just-
he's just strolling. He's like, yeah, nope, and I'm done.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. Straight out on that.
Miss K wants a frozen goat. She thinks it'd be fun if we had
She
one.
doesn't want to. Goats. You don't want to go, dude. They eat everything.
I don't want to go.
They're awful.
Yeah.
You got enough.
But I do like when they
Miss Ace
when
is
they do
that's
that.
good. That's all you need.
Oh, Ace is great.
What was I going to tell you? Oh, you know what I started the other night was go.
I was gonna say, just no.
No, go.
Remind we finished Shogun, and I want to talk to you about it.
Okay.
But keep going, and we'll come back.
That's a bigger conversation.
Yeah.
I started 1923
From
from the Yellowstone world,
Yeah,
the
yeah, no,
Yellowstone
it's-
universe. I didn't realize
This is the
that-
guy who's hunting in Africa.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's great.
So I didn't know that with the fact that I've been paying for Showtime all these years on my cable,
Yeah.
that also meant that I got Paramount Plus for free.
That's right.
But I do. So at no extra charge for me other than my $495,000
Right.
cable bill,
Right.
I now have Paramount Plus. And so I've watched the first 2 episodes of it. It's
great.
It is. The Native American teaching stuff is a tough watch.
Dude, brutal.
That's
Awful.
a very difficult watch.
Uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
Well, it's like watching that. What was the Killers of the Flower Moon? Just a brute. Like
See, I didn't want to see that because
Brutal.
I'm not in.
after 3 hours, I was like, I
I
get,
get it. It's bad.
They're bad.
It's really
They've
bad.
done a lot of bad things.
It was
Get it.
really, really bad. Yeah. But
Yeah,
other
that
than
is- that's-
that part's really
Yeah,
tough.
but she's.
Hopefully
is
we're
she-
2 in, so we're only
is
2
she still
episodes in.
there? Is she
Oh
still-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, now I know that she won't be at one point. So, but for now she is.
Yeah.
And it's not going particularly well. But yeah, that made me think about because the very first episode, like he's hunting a leopard, which is pretty good. That guy's pretty smooth. I as I'm watching
He's
it,
a Dutton.
I know. As I'm watching that with my wife, I'm thinking to myself, because at one point, like a woman leaves her fiance for him, and I'm like, if you're the fiance, you can't even be mad.
That's kind of a.
Like the fiance's kind of a,
This is a zip.
what's he gonna do? Meantime, this guy's over here. He's sweating, sucking down whiskeys, puffing on cigarettes, and killing beasts. And the stories of his tales have reached far and wide throughout Africa. Like makes sense to me.
Just wait, like in Last of Mohicans, someday I think you and I are gonna have a serious disagreement. There's gonna be some good stuff. You have a lot. Of
No,
good
I'm
stuff
only
coming
2
your
episodes
way.
in, so I'm looking
How
forward
many
to
is
that.
it? 8?
I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I'm excited
It's
for that
a
one to come
daunting
back.
amount of content on Paramount Plus
Yes.
for me, and I decided to skip the 1883 thing.
So so this one
All
is
that. This is
This
1923.
is Harrison
Ford, Helen Mirren, and then this guy is
Dude,
in Africa. It's great.
Harrison Ford's unreal.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
a good show, dude.
I should do. I wish we would have watched it together because I could have done like some Montana Ombudsman stuff on there.
Okay.
Because it doesn't check out.
The geography.
Geography doesn't check out, and then like where they say they're like cows don't eat up here, they're in a valley. They're not on the top of a mountain like it's
Cows eat, they're
you know,
just fine.
cows do just fine there. All right, Shogun. So I've been over with I watched this a month ago, so I'm trying to. Okay, I got it.
If you have not watched Shogun, it's been out and been over with for over a month. So like, close your ears for a few minutes. But
And
at
by
this
the
point,
way,
you
if
could
you-
have
if you
watched it. But
haven't-
we're giving you plenty of time to.
Yeah, you can turn
come back
down
at,
for 4
come back
minutes.
at 120.
By the way, if you haven't, you should. It's awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. And
One of
they're
my
talking
favorite-
about trying to bring it back.
One of my well, it's already been approved for 2 and
But
3.
I don't think they have a story yet. Like they're trying to work it out with because the guy who wrote the book, his family, they're trying to work it out with them. They're greenlit from
Yes.
FX, but they're
Yeah.
not.
Right, because it's all kind of now uncharted territory.
Yeah.
Because the book really didn't have a resolution.
Yes.
So, again, last chance.
Yep.
If you haven't watched it and you're planning on doing it, number one, you should. You must. I insist. It's one of my favorite shows since Game of Thrones. That's how much I enjoyed it.
I agree. I thought it was pretty close to flawless. I mean, it was really, really good.
So
And what the other thing was cool about it is it's a part of the world I don't know much about.
I don't know much about feudal
So that's
Japan.
what made it so cool because I felt like I learned so much.
And I didn't know that Edo is what became Tokyo.
No, did not know that.
I did not know that.
No.
Beautifully shot, beautifully
Movie,
acted.
really. Yeah.
It's incredible. The scale, the scope, the performances. Mariko is one of the finest actresses
Female lead.
I've ever seen, and her spoiler again, if you have not listened, third time now, it's on you. Her demise is like gut wrenching.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. And I didn't read the book, and I didn't see the previous miniseries, so I had no reason
idea.
to believe it was anything other than happily ever after.
That's what I was hoping for
Not.
her and
The other guy.
Anjin.
Not.
No, not.
No.
And I will say that even though he was he really was both dastardly and heroic, all of those things. Yagabushi, as I call him, but I think it's
My guy.
Yababuti. I call him Yagabushi. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like just
great.
his sounds, everything he did
Everything.
was so good. He
Yep.
was so duplicitous. It caught up to him. Obviously, he went out. I think kind of like as well as you can go out.
Especially how we've seen others go out. This was
I'm
better.
not a fan of like, oh, I messed up. I'm going to kill myself and
Yeah.
perhaps my offspring because that's just.
Right.
By the way, nobody else did that.
Nobody did. No.
Only that one guy was like, I'm going to kill myself and my offspring for just speaking up in a meeting.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Speaking up in a meeting. How dare you? Yeah.
But like, why did
Here's-
his son have to go? Nobody
So-
else did that.
What I would say is, to me, they very clearly did this with the idea of this was going to be a start and a stop, and there would be no more stories. Like when this was produced, the only thing that leads you to believe that there was a chance is how the first scene of the final episode starts.
Yes.
If not for that first scene, you would say this was a start and stop and one and we're out situation. Because if it were, to me, the one thing now looking back on it, it's been a while since I've seen it, but the one thing looking back on it, they really could have spread this out over 20 episodes quite easily.
yeah.
There was a lot of stuff we glossed over. And I did find the finale a little anticlimactic because, like, you never got a war. Like they just,
Nana felt the same way. Well, which is why I felt like it obviously always had to be more than one season because, like, we have to get that war.
we're not getting that war.
I think we will in season 2.
No, I don't. I mean, that's not the plan. Is to not. It's not going to be a pick up right where they left off thing. So I don't.
What's the plan?
They're working on it.
You got to have the
plan.
war.
I don't think you're going to get the war, and I think they wrote it. I was reading something from the creators. They are not showing you the war. That's one of the, and part of it probably could be budgetarily.
Budget. Yeah.
You know, it's a lot to shoot a war. Costs a lot.
But I want to see a samurai war.
Yeah, you're
I've
not
never
gonna.
seen it.
Not gonna happen.
So the ending was really just supposed to be like Bantaro comes down. He's kind of content with his lot in life. This is what it is. The Anjins, they're working together. He's kind of
Yeah.
content. He misses Mariko, and
Yeah.
Tornaga is.
Gonna be the shogun. He's gonna be the boss.
Yeah, but we got to see how he wins.
He told you how he wins. I'm telling you. I mean, I think they were one and done with it. Because
Lady Ochiba is going to help him out. So that little exposition. See, here's the thing: in Game of Thrones, they'd give you that. They would be giving you that exposition as you're seeing
As you're
it
watching it.
unfold.
Correct.
As you see Ishido get his throat slit,
and that's the difference between an FX show and an HBO show in the Golden Age. The budget.
We needed that though. They could have shot that.
I agree.
They could have shot that.
I agree.
A bunch of little
But
skirmishes.
all
that
of
tell the
all
tale.
of the war stuff that they show was always shot tight or aftermath.
Yes.
Like you never saw all of it. I thought it was exceptional, and it's like the subtitle thing didn't bug me at all.
I
It was
liked it.
totally fine. I actually
Forced
found
me
it
to
that
be
I had to
locked
lock in.
Yeah.
Yep. You couldn't. It was one of those shows you really couldn't do dual screen.
Yeah, that was our Memorial Day. We had supermarket had 3-pound tomahawks. I don't know if you saw that on the documentarians.
No, I did not. You were sawing up some tomahawks.
Oh man, so we did my favorite. We did a little turf and turf. So we had the tomahawk.
Yeah. Oh, look at those guys with the little lambies.
little lamb chops,
Lamb chops.
and then that's what it looked like on the plate because it
Look
was
at that. Gorgeous.
It was delightful.
What a
brother.
delight.
Yeah, so we had that and finished Shogun was a big Memorial Day.
That's a win.
Interesting. See, I thought once it was season 2, it was because we're going to get the battle. That makes me very disappointed that we're not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they knew it was going to be as popular as it was, they would have kept her alive and
Yagabushi.
that guy alive. They would have been alive longer. Like there was enough content for 20 episodes. We glossed through a lot.
Yeah.
So like there was some palace intrigue. I think sometimes like it felt like we would skip things. Like how all of a sudden we're here and they were at that little village forever.
Yeah.
So like there was a lot I think they could have shown that they didn't. But it was sensational. I got something for you.
Okay.
So last night,
want the war.
Well, keep it. I don't. Yeah, I hope.
Or they just should have shown like Ishido getting his throat slit and Lady Ochiba, and then eventually her and Toranaga. They could shot 2 scenes while that talk was going on, narrating it, so that you're like, you get it. That's how Crimson.
How it happened.
It's already happened.
It's done.
Mariko,
Crimson Sky has happened.
Mariko,
she was Crimson Sky.
She was it. Yeah.
While keeping an eye on the NBA and the NHL a little bit last night, a little film called Rambo: First Blood Part 2 was
I noticed
on.
this from your tweet.
So I'm watching this
The leader
thing.
of Cobra Kai.
I am well, yeah. So he's in the mix.
Yeah,
I didn't realize. I'd forgotten that he was in the mix.
He's
a great villain. Like
he's
is
in a few things.
He's the adult Johnny Lawrence.
Yes,
because Johnny Lawrence played a lot bad in a lot of things. He's the adult John Cleese, I think, is his name.
John Cleese, yeah,
or Crease, something like that. He's the other guy.
Cleese is
England.
Is
I
Monty
think it's
Python.
Crease.
Yeah.
So NBC's sitting there with me. He hadn't seen it. I'm like, dude, lock in. Watch it. You want to see how
First Blood?
No, Part 2.
First Blood. Okay.
When we go to Nam and we got to just take pictures, but John J. Rambo's not taking pictures. We got to see
not a photographer.
Yeah, no, come on. So we're watching it, and it's probably been a long time since you guys have seen it. But as they get on, so John J. Rambo drops in, paratroops in. Remember, his bag gets caught up. He's got to cut himself loose. So now he's got no weapons. He's got nothing but a knife. He has no supplies. He's got nothing. But he paratroops in to Vietnam. He has a guide, a beautiful Vietnamese guide who's going to take him, and she's arranged a boat. John J. Rambo gets on the boat, and the voice that I hear is unmistakable. Now, I haven't seen Rambo First Blood Part 2 in 20 years probably. Maybe more. Unmistakable. The guy who's captaining the boat is Mr. Takahashi from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
What?
That's right.
He
is captaining
Kyoko?
That guy because of Kyoko.
No way.
I'm not kidding you. I had to look it up. I pause it. Paige goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, because it gets pretty heated at that time. What's going to happen here? We get on a boat and we're going to have a little conversation, and then all of a sudden he's a double crosser.
Yes,
it's the same dude. You Killed Kyoko is the same guy who's running the boat.
By the way, it's Martin Cove.
Okay, that
is
guy.
His name. No, Martin Cove is the name of Kreese. I think is his name in Karate Kid.
Okay.
Martin Cove is the actor.
Yeah, that's the actor.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can figure out who is Dana Lee.
Yep, that's it. So you go to his
IMDb. Look at him.
You're going to see him in Rambo: First Blood Part 2 and in Curb.
Holy moly.
Like, are you kidding me?
I believe he's the only crossover from this cast.
I would think so. I mean, that's a hell of a crossover. There's not a lot.
I don't remember seeing Diamond Farnsworth in it.
No.
William Gent.
Unbelievable. I was so excited.
Wow.
So excited. Which led to NBC say, who's tougher, Rambo or Rocky?
Dude, this should have been around for when we did the Baddest Man on the Planet
so it's
tournament
funny
in the offseason.
because you guys did that. You guys did Baddest Man on the Planet. Did you do the characters or did you do the actors?
No, it was the characters.
So I did one
So
similar.
like Conan the Barbarian.
Right. So I did
there.
the same, but we did the actors.
Okay.
So it was like what it was actors versus athletes. So it was like Bruce Lee, Schwarzenegger, those guys, and
Bruce
on the
Lee
other
won
side
ours
was like
as himself.
Was like Wilt Chamberlain and Hoist Gracie and those was on the other side. So that was the battle.
Who won?
Like, I want to say it was Chuck Norris.
Bruce Lee won. Chuck Norris got dispatched, I feel like, early in ours. Jack Bauer was taken out way too early. I was furious.
The character?
Yeah, I'm like, if you've watched this show, you can't kill him, and he kills everybody that he needs to.
Yeah.
Every time.
I settled on that Rambo John Jay was far more dangerous of a human and tougher than Rocky Balboa. But Rocky Balboa
let me tell you
did
something right now.
solve
So did you
communism.
Did you allow them to have weapons, or this in ours it was no weapons? Like they just had to go in and get after.
In the
it.
conversation I had with NBC last night?
No, in your.
Oh, no,
tournament.
it was just fight.
No, yeah.
No
so you
weapons.
couldn't, like Rambo couldn't bring a knife or a gun.
No.
Yeah, no. Conan, let me tell you something.
Well, Conan would win that.
Conan is winning.
He's a barbarian.
He's a gladiator.
He's a gladiator.
barbarian,
Like, that's the guy. And
I thought
because
Gladiator would have a shot
Schwarzenegger's-
too. Russell Crowe would have a shot.
Yeah, but Schwarzenegger's size is.
It's a beast.
Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah. But anyway, so he'd only
Did he love
seen
it?
Rambo 4, or I'm sorry, Rocky 4. He hadn't seen the first
Right.
3 Rockies, which you don't really need to see the first one.
A little slow.
No kidding. You don't.
It's
say.
amazing that it got to Rocky 2, honestly.
Truly is. It's
'Cause
also
doesn't-
amazing. I think the only reason it did is because it won Best Picture.
Didn't Rocky end with like just like they come together and it's just a punch?
And I think they fight. I think Apollo beats him.
Apollo beats him.
And then
What's
2,
one that ends with them starting like they just like one of them?
That's how 3 ends.
Okay.
I think 3 ends with them doing that. And then 4 picks up with them doing that. But then Creed fights Drago and
meets his demise.
yeah. Hard to understand the upshoot there for Apollo Creed deciding to fight Ivan Drago or Rocky fighting it for free in Moscow.
I don't know why they felt the need to have that detail.
I don't know. Seems pretty
Biggest
stupid.
prize fight in the
in the
world.
history of the world.
The history of the world.
Can you imagine Gorbachev? Would he have money wise if he wanted to
Oh, man.
incentivize that fight?
Yeah.
Hundreds of billions
Oh,
ready
yeah.
to go.
Ready.
Nope.
At the ready.
No. All right. We talked a little bit about the NFLPA proposal yesterday. Our Shelby Harris, I'm so confused how they try to twist this into saying players want to start camp end of June. Nobody wants anything to do with this change. Broncos reporter John Heath posted, so strange to me when the NFLPA proposes something the players are against. Who are the NFLPA's leadership aiming to please? Harris responded, that's what we are wondering too. Nobody on board with the idea. Here's what I think happened.
Tell me, because
this is what I think.
I believe we had this right away. Like,
Yeah, that
Yeah,
they weren't
no.
going to want any part of it. I think what the NFLPA probably wanted to do was to eliminate a great amount of what's going on right now. Eliminate a great amount of the OTAs, eliminate the mandatory, and in
Sure.
exchange for that, pick up maybe a week of camp, something like that, and it turned into middle of June.
okay.
That's what I think happened. Because no NFLPA player would want to report in the middle of June for training camp and practice
No.
for 2.5 months before you play a game.
No.
So that never added up to me at all.
No.
Just didn't.
It sounded awful. It sounded like something I wanted absolutely no part of. And fortunately, it sounds like everybody agrees. Because it would be terrible for a lot of the football content. It would be awful. Everybody takes that bit in the summer off. Everybody needs it because then you are coming back and you're going.
Yeah.
You don't need You don't need 4 months. Nobody needs that much time off. There's all stuff going on. Then it's 6 weeks. Get it all in. Decompress.
Yeah.
Travel the world. Do what you want to do. And by the way, they were able to do that in February and March too.
Yeah.
They're really here for what? They got here in April, and they were just kind of jogging on the field and stuff like that, and meetings, OTAs this week. And the OTAs are just 3 days a week.
You know what I think? I think some of it too is our fault, not you and me, but like
No, I take
the
that.
media
That's it.
part of it.
Sure.
Because in many instances, I don't think players care. I mean, coaches, obviously you want everybody here, but it's optional stuff.
Yes.
So the reason that anybody even knows about this stuff is because the media says, well, who's here and who's not?
Of course.
And you keep track of it. Like if that didn't happen, nobody would care.
We haven't done that. We haven't once on this show said, here's a list of everybody who's here or not.
I know, but people are doing that.
People will do that.
And then so that turns into asking coach about that. Hey, why isn't he here? Like they just had this down in Cincinnati. Why isn't Jamar Chase down there? Zach goes, he's in good shape. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
It's fine. He'll be here in a couple of weeks at mandatory minicamp. I'm not worried about it.
Yes.
So I think that's what leads to a little bit. But that's my theory, is that they were probably trying to get rid of this month and in exchange pick up maybe 2 weeks or a week at the start of training camp.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Browns OTA number 5 was outside in the rain today. How about that? Elijah Moore was in the house, and according to our video team's posts, making some nice plays.
Good, and that's one of those. To your point, that's one of those. Where's Elijah Moore? Is he unhappy he doesn't have a contract extension? Elijah Moore went to social media, said that's a bunch of nonsense.
Yep.
He's here, he's working, and I think he has an opportunity in this offense with some of the things that it's going to emphasize in terms of route running, choice routes, option routes, that it's going to really benefit Elijah Moore. He had a career year last year. Whether it was at the level that other people maybe wanted it to be, he had a career year last year. Mm-hmm. And I think the arrow's pointing up. I like Elijah Moore a lot.
A couple of people to shout out. The Pro Football Hall of Fame announced their finalists for the Bill Nunn Memorial Award. The award recognizes a reporter who has made a long and distinguished contribution to pro football. This year's finalists, Mary Kay Cabot, very good, very appropriate, and congratulations to Mary Kay and our good friend D. Orlando Ledbetter on there as well. Jeff Legwold, ESPN senior writer, Broncos NFL reporter, Barry Wilner of the AP, and the notorious
VIC, Vic Carucci.
Come on.
Yeah, the God birthed this show from his
Are we going to have a
loins.
second Hall of Fame party in August?
Yes.
We got Mary Kay.
I mean, if he goes
If
in,
he goes in, we got to go.
Yeah.
We got to go. Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing that
I can't even imagine because I know what the little bar in Rochester, New York was like during Browns-Bills two-a-days
Oh, man.
with the Godfather holding court.
Yep.
And me doing shots with Andre Rison until the sun came. Or not Andre.
Andre Reed.
Andre Reed.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the Hall of Fame party looks like.
I would imagine that the budget would be similar to the Hoffs.
Are we getting a musical performance?
Musical performance and fireworks, I think, are a given.
Depends. Like, would the Pagulas
Sure.
kick in for his party?
Yeah.
Well, then it could be like that. I think he's going to win. Everybody on here, he's the only one on here, at least to my knowledge, who also at one point ran like NFL.com.
I didn't know he did that.
Yeah.
So
That's where he came to us
He
from
went
NFL.
from Buffalo.
he made his
to
bones, though,
NFL.com,
writing for, like, the Buffalo,
Bill, like Jim Kelly,
the
that era.
Buffalo News, right? Or
Yep.
something like that?
Then he
He was
went
like the beat guy?
Then he went
Yes.
to NFL.com.
Okay.
And then from NFL.com, and he's in a lot of those when they run those old 10 greatest this, 10 greatest that's on NFL
Yeah.
Network. They used to run all the time. He's always featured in those as one of the commentators. And then he came here and ran ClevelandBrowns.com and obviously started Cleveland Browns Daily, all of that, and then went back in 2014 to Buffalo to work there and cover the Bills again.
I think it's pretty cool that we've had 4 out of these 5 on.
Oh, yeah.
You know, can't go wrong.
No, it'd be very good.
All are good people. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good.
And the Orlando is always high.
I want an
joy.
invite if DiOrlando gets in.
Yeah.
We're going to have him on.
think
I'm
we'll
going to
be
be
fine.
like, where's the invite?
I'm not worried about it. I think we'll be right there ready to do it.
I'm all in.
Yeah. He's very enthusiastic every time he's on with us.
Very.
Yeah, so I think you're safe there, Gibby. Those are your hot topics of the day presented by University Hospitals. Also, Champions League, the free gaming community for Browns fans from around the world. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/Champions League to join in on the fun. Now we'll go around the league coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Well, folks, it's Billy Joel and it's Rod Stewart. They're going to be together for the first time ever.
One night only.
It is Friday. It is September 13th. It's at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Your tickets are on sale now. Visit clevelandbrownsstadium.com/Billy and Rod 2024.
Billy and Rod 2024.
You get
One
some
night
more
only.
information?
You don't even need to say 2024, honestly, because it's not going to
one
happen
night.
in 2025. It didn't happen in 2023. It's just Billy and Rod.
I wonder why they did that. Billy and Rod 2024.
Not to be confused with any other Billy and Rods, because there are none.
There are no more. You don't want to miss it. It's one night over. One night only, rather.
I mean, think
is
about
all
it.
that it is. We did get this from H. Schneider. Just a note on Japanese pronunciation. Edo is pronounced Edo.
Edo.
I'm a longtime fan with 15 years of on-the-ground experience
The
in
picture's
Japan.
incredible.
A picture from 30 years ago, but at a Japanese festival. Go Browns. He looks incredible.
Guy looks like he could be Rambo.
He's ready to go. He's
Looks
absolutely.
like the Anjin.
He does look like the Anjin. Where did you settle on that guy as an actor?
I liked him.
You thought he could hang?
Yeah. I thought that at first I wasn't sure,
Yeah.
but then I really liked him, and I think he was that character very well. Now, I would need to see him in something else to know if that's all he can be, but I thought he was so earnest and so caught in the middle of the loyalty of the samurai culture and the kind of the ethos of the samurai culture, the code,
Sure.
and being like, wait, this is dumb.
What are we doing? You
This
guys
is
are
your
idiots.
life. Why are we?
What are you doing?
This guy took a pheasant down and now he's dead.
Yeah. I didn't understand that part of it either.
So he had said,
I know he said anyone touches it. I get that. But what was he hoping to do with the pheasant?
why was it just sitting there decomposing?
Why was it sitting there decomposing? The whole point was he was going to cook it for someone, and
thought
he
so.
never did.
No.
So I didn't understand that part. And then
Maybe he was drying it out to make pheasant jerky.
I don't. I guess. I think you got to have something. Don't you have to have some? Don't you have to cure it up? At that point, you can't just have it sit in the.
I don't know. It smelled gross. There were maggots and flies everywhere. It was
Yeah,
obviously a
it's
problem.
pretty gross. Yeah, I don't know. I do like some of that architecture though. Those sliding doors and all that stuff.
Yeah.
kind of like that.
I also felt like they're constantly on the floor. They sit
were.
on the very smallest of mats, not a lot of cushion there.
No,
they sleep
discipline.
basically on the floor.
Which would probably be good for your back. Probably. Don't people say that?
Then why doesn't everybody sleep on a floor?
It's not comfortable.
That's right.
Right, but I think it like sometimes mattresses can be counterproductive.
I think you're going to be pretty stiff waking up on the floor every day, brother.
You're probably right. Around the league, this is my big theory. Will star wide receivers be paid like running backs going forward? Justin Jefferson, Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, CeeDee Lamb, all asking for new contracts and more money. They've all skipped OTAs. The NFL teams are leaning more towards finding out cheap young talent through the draft than paying big bucks for wide receivers. The one caveat I always make with this conversation is you're always going to pay the elite. Like Justin Jefferson's going to get paid. Jamar Chase is going to get paid. It's really it's the upper middle class of that position
Yes.
that will not be compensated as if it's first class.
I agree with that.
And so, like Nico Collins got to deal with the Texans 3 years, 72.
He's good, dude.
He's very good. But I think that's like the type of deal T. Higgins
Yep.
should be
24
expecting.
a year.
Something like
It's not
that.
bad.
No, I know. But I mean, I think he thinks it's like 3 years, 100.
No.
That's not it. That's not it.
No, yeah. He's barking up the wrong tree.
He is, yeah.
By the way, Nico Collins, there have been a lot of reports that have come out that said the Browns were set to take Nico Collins, and he was picked one pick before, and the Browns ended up taking Anthony Schwartz.
Don't ruin my first Friday.
What is it?
On to the next topic.
What I don't understand is what good does it do that that's out there?
I don't know. I've read it in multiple places. I've never
I know.
asked
I
anybody
just
here,
think, like-
but I know we did like Nico Collins a great deal.
Well, but you can do that retroactively. Like when you and I were doing the
course.
draft shows, like we wouldn't have come on and said, boy, we really would have rather had Nico Collins. So that's
I
what
do
think
remember
so
at
it's
the
hard.
time, though, like Schwartz wasn't even on Brugler's guide, like was way down. Like
Yeah.
way down.
Well, they saw the traits. They were hoping
One
that
elite trait,
one elite
yeah.
trait, and let's roll the dice on an elite trait and see what happens.
Yeah, it also is. It is. Yes, you can. That's a very easy hindsight. Nobody talks about, oh, we would have taken this guy, but he ended up stinking, so we got this guy instead, and it worked out. Nobody would ever. You'd never hear that.
No.
But I will say, I remember here. I'll ruin your day even more, Gibby. When we took Leon McFadden, one pick before the Honey Badger went, I felt like that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
you
say.
think?
Yeah.
I mean, we get
What did
the
he
list
drop
is long
for?
and
Was it-
distinguished.
Yeah, it is. What's the one? If you could have one back.
One pick back.
Yeah. in the last.
Let's just stay in 2014. I would have just stayed at
gonna
number
say.
4
Yeah.
and taken Khalil Mack.
The end. That works.
And then you don't trade back in it with Justin Gilbert. I mean,
Yeah. The one that always gets me is you could have had Miles and Watson in the same draft.
yeah.
I mean, just think that you basically would have done. It's what the Texans did.
CJ and Will Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Miles, I think, is
Better.
Will's not going to get to Miles' production. CJ's a stud. But, like, when you get them both and when you get your defensive end and your quarterback in one draft, everything changes.
Guess what? And he could have been joining. We could have had him and Khalil Mack.
Right. Although you probably would have won more games, so maybe you're not picking number one if you had Mac.
Fair.
So, but in that one, like, that's a straight line. Like, those were both sitting there.
Yeah, that's a big.
could have
That's a
done
big do-over.
Drake May signed his rookie deal, 4 years, 36.6 on that one. It's funny when you read these numbers and these compensation for rookie quarterbacks and stuff, and it's juxtaposed to what you see like in the NBA. It's so small, like how big of a job that is for Drake May, and that the
But
deal
yeah,
on that is just 36 and a half.
Go back to Sam Bradford's rookie deal.
Oh, it's much less than that.
I mean,
for sure, that
yeah.
was that's what changed it. Was him.
Yeah.
And Tariq Cohen signing a 1-year deal with the Jets. Last played for the Bears in 2020. Made the decision to sign with him because the Jets believe kick returners will receive about 100 touches this year compared to 30 last year due to the new kickoff rules. Do we have Bubba in here tomorrow?
Bubba will be in studio tomorrow.
Curious what he thinks of it.
Love it.
Yeah.
I definitely think there's going to be more kick return touchdowns. I think it might set the record for kick return touchdowns in a single
There
season.
will be for sure because it's once you get past the first line,
It's gone.
it's gonzo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then the type of player that you want in that position
Let's see more
is
running
different.
backs.
Yeah, it's different than what you used to see. Those straight line speed guys, like it might be a running back, a guy who could break one
You just get to the second level and go.
and go. That's kind of the way that goes. All right, coming up next, we'll predict the over-under wins for the 2024 season via Marcus Mosher from 33rd Team. That's coming up next. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, welcome back in. Cleveland Browns Daily. Bo and Z. Nick Gibson tagged us in this morning. It's fake, but it's still fun. So there's a Twitter account that on the surface looks like Tour Golf.
Yeah,
But then it's got a blue check mark, which used to mean something but doesn't
It's
anymore. And it's
Tour.
at PGA TUOR. Tour.
right.
Thoughts on this? So it says Augusta National will expect to open up the course for a week to the public in November of 2025. The rate per player is expected to be $10,000. Augusta National is testing this out to see the market demand. And Augusta representative said we would donate 100% of the funds to our local.
How does something like this get made up?
I think because first fodder. It's just like here's the
Absolutely.
problem with this. This is the problem with this when I read this morning. The number for the round is way too low. Because they would sell out a from dawn till dusk tea time package of foursomes at $10,000 per player in about 8 seconds.
Yeah.
So I think in order for it to even, and honestly, I think they'd sell it out at $1 million a round, but by noon, yes, they would, because it's the one place you can't just get on.
I feel like knowing that we know people who have gotten on there, you can get on.
But it's tough. It's a favor upon a favor upon a favor. I mean, it's tough. There's a lot of wealthy people who will never get on it.
Yes.
And will never see it.
Yes.
So the other reason I knew this was fake was that they would never do this. They would never do this. In fact,
it.
Jack Nicklaus, he was in Columbus last week prepping for the Memorial Tournament, and a buddy of mine asked him he said he was at this charity thing, and it was one of these. I'm talking about whales were there, right? And they had money to burn, and Jack was trying to come up with something that would raise a lot of money for the charity. And Jack's getting back into trying to play a little bit more golf, and so he said, "Well, I'll auction off a foursome anywhere you want. I'll auction off a foursome." And of course, everybody said Augusta.
Yeah.
And he said, "If I do that, they'll kick me out. Like Augusta National would kick him out if he brought people who wanted charity on to play with him. Like, not happening." Jack Nicklaus, member, 6-time champion.
Why would they care that much?
They just don't. They're not having it. They're not having it.
The rules are the rules.
The rules are the rules, and they don't care.
One
You can't
round of
buy your
golf
way
with a
in.
Masters champion.
You can't buy your
I
way
find
in.
it hard to believe that they would donate all the proceeds to.
I could see that part. I only did believe.
Yeah.
I could see it
I
because
see
they
it.
don't
I
need it.
didn't. I'm like, nah.
I feel like they don't need it.
No, but
they don't even. They charge $1.25 for a sandwich at that place at the Masters. Like they make all the money on the
badges.
the merchandise and the badges. It's the merch though is where all the money is. They don't even get all of the. I don't even think they charge CBS for the rights. Didn't we
Yeah.
do that
Talked
story?
about
They
it.
don't.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
They don't.
It's all merch.
So it's all merch. Is their whole operation. That's the way that it works. So forget the number. Forget 10K or whatever.
Okay.
Pick a number that would one where you'd have to contemplate it. No need to share. But the number that you'd have to really think about it and you'd have to have a conversation with your significant others. What would be the one thing in sport or not that you would pay the most to be able to experience?
Duke Carolina at Cameron, because it's the one thing I could never get. Even when my uncle was at Duke.
He couldn't. Yeah,
Can get you in the building?
Now, I've been to Cameron for multiple games.
But
I've been
not-
to Carolina. I've been to the
Yeah.
Dean Dome. I've called a game in the Dean Dome.
yeah.
Like, I've
Which
been,
is so cool,
but
by
I
the way,
could
you did.
never. I played a pickup game in the Dean Dome at midnight against the
unbelievable.
Carolina managers.
So great.
I threw a couple extra elbows.
That's unbelievable. In the rafters, Jordan, Worthy.
Yeah.
On the court, Gibbs.
Yep.
Gibby.
Yep. The one guy who doesn't belong. That was the one game. Like he was like, I can't.
do that one.
And I'm like, I'd like to be there for like when it means something.
Yeah, you would want it. I mean, it always does, but you'd want it to be when they're both ranked in the
Yeah,
top 10.
correct.
Like that type of juice.
I don't know. See, with Augusta, you're getting to do it. Going to a sporting event, you're just going.
Well, true. If golf is your passion, like would that be yours? Would it be Augusta?
I don't know. I don't
Well, now he's got bigger aspirations since the wrestling debut went so well. Now he's
No,
reaching
I'm not
for
like,
the
for
sky.
example, like I'm not getting
You're not gonna
to
headline-
wrestle at WrestleMania.
No.
How do you know?
You know,
Mrs. Dad did.
Treat
true.
I mean,
treat it
throw
like a
that
make
out
a
there.
wish, like a make a wish thing, except you had to pay like that you'd have to think about that you would really have to think about. So I was thinking about this, and golf is the thing that comes up, even though I don't love it. But doing it like with the boys. So like the thing that came to my mind was not Augusta. What came to my mind is actually very, very doable. But like if I could get like a perfect day to like play St. Andrews with my boys,
That'd be awesome. St. Andrews is magical.
that would be. That's the one that came to my mind even more than Augusta. Was like birthplace of golf with my boys. That would be the one. That's what came to mind. There's other things you think about. Like I almost had one of these. I kind of had one of these from just a surreal standpoint, like when you just stop on your way back from Indy and you go down to the Hoosiers gym. Like that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was like walking into a dream.
Yeah.
It was
walking
pretty
on
amazing.
to a damn movie set and being like, what the hell, man? Like this is unchanged.
Yeah.
You know? There was that kind of had that aspect to it.
You know what I'd like to do? We'll keep Augusta in it since that sparked the theme. I'd love to play in the Masters, but I tee off from the ladies' tees and see if I could like even come close to making the cut. So
Do
I
you
played
think
ladies'
you
tees
could?
on every hole. I have no idea what the yardage is at the. Let's see if we can. I don't even know if that's even something that you can find
Well,
out.
we have a scorecard from Previtz, just not on us.
True.
Yeah.
Augusta National Scorecard. Detailed.
So
scorecard. Here we go.
that leads me to another interesting conversation that we've had a lot recently with some golf people.
Yep.
Like just about, I think we had this talk, like playing the tees that fit
Yeah.
your handicap.
I just had this conversation this weekend.
So we had a conversation in the golf league.
Yep.
Like, because there are some guys that are not pleased about the fact that, the opponent they're playing gets 7 strokes. If it's not a par 3, they get a stroke on every hole, basically.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But it's designed to set up. One of our buddies this past weekend was like, what if so-and-so, like based on your handicap, you got to play from a certain tee? Would that even it out?
All right.
So your argument is that is it more punitive? The stroke is too. You're saying the stroke gift for the lesser player is too punitive
way too punitive.
to the better player.
Yeah.
Is that? I don't know. I'm asking.
That's
100%.
That's what the top level is saying.
Okay.
It came up like should that other the person that you're playing that gets 7 strokes instead of that, should they get to tee off further up?
So I guess the thinking behind that is that, for example, like a 12, the difference between you and a 12 is how many strokes are you going to get? Are you giving the guy who's the 12?
Right now, somewhere between a 2 and a 4. So we'll say anywhere from 8 to 10.
Okay.
So I get 5 aside.
So that
4 or 5 aside.
does seem way too punitive to you.
That's a lot.
Because I
If
think
it's
the
in
difference between a 12 and a 20 is a far greater difference than a 12 and a 4.
Yeah,
I know that numerically it's similar,
for sure.
but what you're capable of are 2 entirely different sports.
It's also different sometimes in stroke play. Like a 12 could play out of their mind and shoot a 60, not a 60, could shoot a 79, 78. So I would have to shoot, 68 or
for sure a 12 could shoot 79.
yeah, and I'm not
like
gonna
that's
shoot
not
68
impossible
that's not going to happen very often.
by any stretch.
I would say so. They have the tee. I think that strokes. It would be fine to me if it's like 1-on-1 and it just doesn't work in the 2-on-2 games when 2 guys are against. It's too much. But 1-on-1, if we played pure stroke play and I made them play ball in the hole, I think it probably would end up being okay. But in match play, I really always think it should be a half. So like if we tie on a hole, you win. But if you make a boat, because the way that it's set up now is if, let's say, you're getting a stroke on a hole and I make a par, you have to make a double on that hole for me to win that hole.
I see.
That's
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
That seems like that's too much.
Yeah.
I need to beat by 2 shots to actually win the hole. Instead of you basically have on this hole, if we tie, you win.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So-
You have the numbers.
All right, here we go. So there are just 2 tees listed. So perhaps they don't have ladies tees, or if they do, fine. I think maybe I have a chance at it from these tees. Maybe. So the Masters tees are 7,500 yards.
Mm-hmm.
The members tees are 6,365. So that's not that long. The par fives, 5 goes from number 1, for example, is 365 versus 455. Number 2 is 515 as a par 5 versus 575. The other par 5s are 480, 455, and 475. Like,
I'm going to say that it's not going to be the distance that's the problem. It's going to be the greens.
the greens are going to be very hard.
They're going to be
no
diabolical,
doubt.
and the fact that you would have never played them before and would have
Well, I'd play some practice
like
rounds.
maybe
I'm saying,
a practice round or two, but like
Yeah.
I still think, and then everything that goes into it, I would be just.
But if I'm hitting the ball well, I'm hitting sandwich into every single green. I mean, the distances are stark on a lot of these holes. Like the holes that are really hard, the only one that stays really hard is 10. 11 is a 105-yard difference. They're playing a 505-yard par 4. I'd be playing 400 yards.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So there's take changing the way that a fundamental historic sporting event is governed to allow you to have
Some
the ability to play it.
Some chance.
Is there any? So there's nothing in the. It would be golf. Probably would be Augusta, wouldn't it for you? Would that be the one place?
I mean, I've been front row at WrestleMania. I've been to Super Bowls. I've been to NBA Finals games. I've been to World Series games.
Same.
I've been to
it's probably
golf
that.
tournaments.
It's probably that,
It's probably just playing. And to your point, like
or
doing
even
it
another
with-
experience.
yeah.
You know, like is it?
Does it have to be sports?
No, it doesn't have to be.
If I knew that I would come back alive, I'd love to go on like a spaceship.
That'd be pretty. Yeah, like that guy from Dayton who's going to go down to the Titanic. Did you see that? Billionaire from Dayton.
Yeah, it makes me nervous, dude.
He's going back to the Titanic to prove that it's safe. Why, dude? What are you going to see? It's wreckage.
And there's already an
deep
IMAX.
in the abyss.
There's an IMAX made of
There's
it.
an
thank you.
IMAX.
You
There's
can watch
a
it.
movie.
Nope.
Like the
I think
Science
if I
Center,
was
like COSI down in Columbus. Like
Good
they
to
have-
go.
Go what? Go look.
I
You don't
think
need
if
to
I
be in a
was-
tube underwater.
If I was capable of doing it, I do think like climbing Mount Everest would be an awesome feeling when you made it up there. I just don't think I'm capable of it.
Only thing I don't know about Everest is like, can you see anything?
Yeah, you're on top of the world.
No, I understand that, but it's windy and
What's the
snowy and
visual-
gray. Like, what
yeah.
can you actually see?
I don't know.
Can you even tell where you are?
don't
Like,
know.
so I wonder, like, would Kilimanjaro have more of a holy smokes? Because you could see a little bit.
Rises above the
Theoretically.
Serengeti.
Yeah, could you see a little bit?
Well, you could have a clear day at Everest. I mean, I've watched the Everest
know.
IMAX.
And
There's
so
there's
there
some
are
clear
times where
days.
you can see-
Oh, you see for,
Yeah,
That'd
you've
be-
got to
and
have the
then-
right conditions.
and then maybe you get to see a Yeti.
well, now you're talking.
I'd be big on that. I would love to find Bigfoot.
Jeez.
So here, what we're gonna do? We're gonna put you on a spaceship. And
Yeah.
We're gonna change the Masters rules so you can play, and then
When
we're
I
gonna go
come
on.
back.
Then we're gonna go on a Bigfoot expedition and the Pacific.
I do think it would be funny though
I
for
just want
people
the
to
passed out
understand though.
goat with him.
Listen, I'll be 100% honest and realistic about it. If I played from the members tees, I have 0% chance of making the cut. Zero. Hard zero.
What now?
If we did what I said,
Yeah.
and I played from the members tees at Augusta in the Masters, I still think I have a 0% chance of making the cut.
I agree with you. I didn't.
And I
wanna
think it would
say
be
that because
I
you're
think it'd
having
be
fun with it, but I
interesting
think
to
it's
see
a
if there was
zero.
like to put like a real scratch golfer or something like that out there, so people understand how good these guys are.
They did that one time at the U.S. Open. Remember that?
Well, people
When, like-
qualified.
Yeah, but even the one time, like they had Timberlake and Romo and somebody go play the U.S. Open setup. I want to say it was at Bethpage,
Okay,
and they
there's a
shot
public course.
and they shot like 107,
Yeah, and Romo's good.
and they're good. But like that's the difference.
Yeah.
Big difference.
The difference between them and a scratch is much bigger than the difference between a scratch and an 8. Much bigger.
It's like the difference between a scratch and an 18,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we will do the over-unders from 30-30 team. You have that to look forward to. Chris Sims quarterback rankings. We got the first half of those in higher or lower. Bunch more fun coming your way in the second half. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Be sure to check out the Browns social media channels daily to play the Browns digital scratch-off game for your chance to win club seats. Other great prizes presented by the Ohio Lottery, the official lottery of your Cleveland Browns. So this is from the 33rd team. Schedule release predicting every team's win-loss.
Yeah, we haven't had Zagura predict an over/under in a while, or guess
Let's
the
do it.
guess the spread.
I'm going to guess it. I have not looked at this. I have not looked at
So,
this. Are we going every single team?
Yeah.
All right. Or is it
Call us a little
alphabetical?
traveling music, please.
Is it alphabetical or by division? Why don't you just give us the team? You decide however you
We
want
can
to
go by division.
You give us the team.
It
Me
is
and
by
Bo-
division.
Me and Bo will guess.
This is their over-unders?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there halves? Because, is it done if it's a Vegas?
There are halves.
Okay.
I think what within a
this is
within a game is a win or within a half is a win.
I think within a game is a win.
By the way, some breaking news to the surprise of no one, charges dropped for Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, you don't say.
You don't say. Did you hear the
Don't
audio
say.
that was
I
released?
did. Yes, I did hear that.
How could they even have continued this for more than 1 minute?
I have no idea.
There
How
should have
they
been
didn't
a
stop it.
massive apology.
I think it is
Massive.
ridiculous that they dropped the charges only because Scheffler had to agree that nothing further would come. If I were Scheffler, I'd be screaming from the mountaintop.
I just think
I
he's-
would
yeah,
be
he just doesn't
burying
wanna
Said the
deal
guy
with
hit him
guys.
with his flashlight and then yanked him out of the car. He never said, "Hey, can you get out of the car?" He
No,
just hit
it's
him.
out of control. Totally out of control.
How Scheffler's camp even
I can't believe Louisville PD went this long with it.
Somebody told me this. I don't know. Was it you guys? Somebody I asked. I was like, I can't believe this is going on. And they said they're going to keep the charges going until he agrees to not sue them.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
That's
right.
So
It's
whoever
on
that was,
brand.
kudos. Whoever said that to me,
Good job out of you.
great job. Yeah, I think within a game is a win.
Within a game is a win?
Yeah.
Okay.
try to guess the over-unders of the following. We start in the AFC East. Yeah, I like it. With the Buffalo Bills.
I'm going to go 9.5.
I was going 9.
The number is 10.5.
Bo gets that one.
I think that's pretty generous.
Yeah, I thought that was too high.
That's too high, I think.
Next,
Over, under.
the Miami Dolphins.
I'm going to go 9.5.
I'm going to go 10.
9.5 on the dot.
Next!
Good, you're good at this.
Under.
The New England Patriots.
I'm going to go
6.5.
5.5.
4.5.
Jeez.
Got it.
Gross.
Hey, you're 3 for 3.
Gross. Enjoy that season up there.
4.5. God, that's
That's low.
Next,
Over, under.
the New York Football Jets. Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going to go 9.5.
9.5.
Right on it.
4 for 4.
Yeah, you killed the AFC East.
Yep.
To the AFC Norris Division. The
Okay.
Baltimore Ravens.
10.5.
11.
11.5.
Barely got it.
It's a big number there.
That's too big. Too big. 11.5?
Yeah.
Jeez. 12-5 to hit it?
11.5. Next,
Over, under.
the Cincinnati Bengals.
10.5.
Yeah, 10.5.
Right on it. 10.5. Next,
Over, under.
the Cleveland Football Browns.
It's not what I think it should be, but I'm going to say they're going to say 8.5.
9.5.
8.5. Take that and stick it.
Wow, they think we're having a losing record.
Take the over, kids.
Wow.
Next,
Over, under.
the Squealers and their hot dog water.
8.5.
9.
8.5. Same as the Browns. Come on.
That's BS.
Come on.
Well, we swept that division.
Yeah, I'm 8-0, dog.
Yeah, I know you are, Doc. I think you're going 32 now too.
I'm not going 32.
Really throwing them out of here. At some point, we'll have one that actually crosses you up. Until
Yeah.
then.
New England. I got crossed up by New England and Buffalo. I thought Buffalo was too high and New England too low.
To the AFC South and the Houston Texans.
10.
10.5. He said 10.
Oh, he did? I didn't hear
Yeah.
him. The number 9.5.
Ooh, barely got it.
So you've got a few. on
You're
that 1
favored
point.
to win the AFC South, and the win total is 9.5.
Yeah.
The Indianapolis Colts.
Ooh, this is tough.
There we go. Now we get some fun.
7.5.
8.
8.5.
God, that's
Is that your
I've got
first
a-
one?
No, as I said, did I say 7.5?
Yeah,
I
you've
keep-
got you've
I've
had
got
like
a lot on those.
4 or 5 with a full 1
Full
point.
1 point,
Yeah, take
yeah.
the full one.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
8.5.
Neck brace not
9.
included. 8.5 is the number. The Tennessee Titans down in Nashtucky.
6.5.
7.
Bishop, I don't know what's going on, but crushing it. 6.5.
12 for 12, dog.
Yeah. I'm 10 for 12. I
Good
struggled. The
God.
AFC North really threw me for a loop. Other than that, it's been layups.
Next
Over, under.
to the AFC West and the Denver Broncos.
I think you can go 32. I think
I'm not going to get
I
32.
think so.
This is no. Here's look.
There's going to be
This
some.
is there's so many bad teams here.
Yeah, the bad teams are the
the
tougher
bad
ones.
teams are going to be brutal.
Buffalo,
Who did you
I
start
thought was
with?
overvalued.
the Denver
Denver?
Broncos here in the West.
Oh, jeez.
Now you start thinking about it because you're doing so well.
No, it just how bad is how 5.5.
That's what I was 5.5.
Right on it. 5.5.
Yeah, this is not.
Oh, no. Where's my charger?
His phone's dying.
Oh, no.
Your phone's dying in the middle of over under.
You can't have your phone die in the middle of a segment.
hold on.
This
Give me
is
a
a show.
Panicking.
We're
to
on
get his
air.
phone charger.
Charger. The Kansas City Chiefs.
12.5.
Kansas City Chiefs. 12.
11.5.
Oh God, barely.
Man.
That one was nerve wracking.
Yeah.
Can't believe my phone. It went
They're
from
over,
like-
by the way. Take them on the over.
Yeah.
I
11
know
and a
they
half.
played some tough non-division games. Their division is trash.
Speaking of trash, the Las Vegas Raiders. Hey, congratulations. I think their owner and is.
No, not.
Oh, it's not?
She issued a
Not.
statement. That's
Statements
not
have been
true.
issued.
Oh,
No.
I missed that.
Yeah.
I got all excited for nothing.
6.5.
7.
6.5 it is.
Charges.
The Los Angeles Chargers.
7.5.
8.
8.5.
Man.
They
Perfect.
predict
Yeah,
them
yeah.
to go 7 and
You're
10.
gonna, I'm telling you, you can. You're gonna
16
do
and
this.
0. 16 and 0.
1
baby.
point is, I think, 1 point.
One
Probably
point
was
probably
too big.
Too much. It should have been a half.
Half. Yeah.
Harbaugh goes 7 and 10. Is he? Does he just leave after 1 year?
They're gonna. He's
For
gonna.
both of us to get 12.
I'm gonna tell you what here's the ones I like. I like us. I like the Jets overs. I like Baltimore under.
I like Buffalo under.
I like Buffalo on. Didn't I say Buffalo under? No, Baltimore under. Baltimore under. Buffalo under. Indy. I'm not so crazy about that. I'm not ready to go on
stay
that
away.
one. Chargers over. I like all of those.
So what's our record through the AFC?
16 and 0.
16 and 0 for both. 14 and 2 for me.
All right.
Cruising.
To the NFC we go in the NFC East next.
Over, under.
The Dallas Cowboys.
10.5.
11.
10.5. Right on it.
I've had several of those too.
Yeah, you've had many.
Jeez,
Right on it.
Bishops.
You've had fewer.
Crushing
You've used
it.
the full point, but you've had
Need some
just
Keno
as many
numbers for tonight.
100% on
Yeah.
it. Okay.
The New York Football Giants. Danny Dimes, kids.
6.5. 7. 7.
I'll stay 6.5. That's what I was going to go with 6.5.
6.5 it is. Right on
Oh
it.
man. That might get a little new.
That'll get some people fired there. The Philadelphia Eagles are up next.
10.5.
10.
10.5. They project them to go 12 and 5. I think that's a bold statement, Cotton. A lot of guys retiring.
Yeah, I don't know. That's such a good organization, and they were like what 11 and 0 last year.
And then the
Yeah.
wheels just fell off.
Yeah.
Finally, in the NFC East, the Washington Commies.
4.5. I maybe went too low there. 4.5.
5.
Bishop, first loss.
Sad.
6.5.
Oh, God.
6.5.
What?
And
for the
I thought,
Commies.
dang it.
Jaden Daniels?
And I started at 6.
6.5.
Dang it.
Jaden Daniels?
Should have stayed with my 6. I had a chance there.
Oh, jeez. All right.
You scared me when you went 4.5 because I was so off on.
just don't
Dude, I had to
New
hide
England.
my, like, whoa.
Too odd.
I had written
Gotta take
6
an L
on
on
that
that
one.
one.
Oh, man. Dang it.
Jeez.
All right, next.
Over, under.
To the NFC Norris division, the Chicago Bears.
Oh, they're tough. I'll go 7.5.
8.
8.5.
Barely.
It's a generous number.
It's a
I
little
don't
too
think
high.
so.
I think it's a little bit of Caleb. It's a lot to go to do that
Got
year
a lot
one.
of talent.
They do.
The Detroit Lions.
10.5.
Yeah, they feel like 10.5.
10.5. Right on it. How about the Green Bay Packers?
9.5.
10.
10.5 for the Lambeau Leapers.
And then mini.
Final one in the NFC North division, the Minnesota Vikings.
7.5.
7.
6.5. It's an interesting one there.
Yeah.
Next,
Over, under.
to the NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons.
10.5.
9.5.
9.5.
Ooh.
The Carolina Panthers.
4.5.
4.5.
Right on it. 4.5.
There's a rhythm to this.
There is
too.
no expectation in Carolina.
No.
Other than just go to Fahrenheit on the rooftop and go live your best life.
That's it.
That's my
These
recommendation.
next two are interesting.
The New Orleans
whole point, you were at
Football
2 points.
Saints.
New Orleans, 8.
7.5.
7.5. Bishop right back on it. Zagura maintaining.
Yeah, I'm 2 behind. It's over.
Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Scream 7.5 to me.
8.
8.5.
That's too high.
I would tend to agree with you. Bishop's missed 1, Zagura 2.
That's it.
Final division.
You're welcome, people.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. You
we're
can
helping you
monetize
out. This is an off-season Christmas gift.
It really is. Yeah.
Putting kids through college already.
That's all we're doing. Yeah. Private schools.
The NFC West and the Arizona Cardinals.
Ooh.
Maybe we're not. We're already putting half a kid.
6.5.
Yeah, that feels like 6.5 to me.
6.5 it is. Good recovery.
It's going to be one low here.
The Los
No, maybe
Angeles
not.
Rams.
9.5.
8.5.
8.5.
It's close.
That was close.
Was close. The San Francisco 49ers.
12.
11.5.
11.5 it is. Final one, the Seattle Seahawks. By the way, that game is going to be 10 p.m. Eastern time.
8.5.
8.5. It screams 8.5.
7.5 for the Seahawks.
All right. 31-29.
And I missed by 2 on Washington. 2 whole games.
2.
Wow.
There's some that stand out there in that NFC as well.
Yeah, I don't.
I still think
it's-
Buffalo is way too high.
I think Buffalo's too high. Baltimore's too high. Chargers too low. Dallas too high.
Yes.
Obviously, I think Washington's too high. I think where else? What else? I think Tampa Bay's too high. What did you say? Did Seattle? Did we hit that on the right on
7.5.
7.5? Yeah. Yeah. Pretty good.
Well done, gentlemen.
Pretty good. We're going to do higher lower coming up at 2:30. Is that the plan?
Yeah, we'll just do. I've got a couple little media notes
got
as
some
well that
notes.
have been dropped in here in the last.
We've got some notes then. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland Browns single game tickets right now for all great matchups at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/tickets or call 440-891-5050 to purchase today. Hello, Gibby.
Hi guys.
Give it back.
Couple notes, news and notes.
Yep.
It's announced that Dwayne Wade is joining Noah Eagle on NBC's men's Olympic coverage of basketball. If NBC gets the NBA, Mike Tirico, Dwayne Wade, number one team. That's from Andrew Marchand. I don't know. Like I don't know what Wade even sounds like.
Yeah,
calling a
game. I don't know. I mean, what's he done? He's done like inside the NBA a little bit.
A little bit.
I mean, Tirico, huh? Mike's great. Really nice guy.
That's what. So someone said, you think Tirico would be number one? It wouldn't be Noah. Andrew said, I'd be surprised if Tirico wasn't NBC's number one on the NBA. He's the face of the network, was close to doing the finals for ESPN, and at one point, I'd imagine he would want it, but haven't asked him yet.
Well, I wonder if but would he? Like, do you want to do that Sunday night basketball stuff?
You just
wanna
want to
do
work
that
every
grind
Sunday night for year
For
round?
the year round? You're going to work every Sunday night except for the summer? Like, I don't know if you would want to sign up for that. I mean, Noah Eagle's not even 30 years old.
No.
I don't know if he's 25.
Now, Joe Buck was given the keys to the Fox Kingdom when he wasn't 30 years old. The very first Fox and
He's
Major League
26,
Baseball,
Noah Eagle.
That's crazy. He's closer to NBC's age than mine. The idea that the very first Fox baseball national broadcast, it was Joe Buck was in the studio, and it was actually Chip Carey, or maybe that's inverted. Chip Carey might have been in the studio, and Buck was on the game, but it was Chip Carey and Joe Buck, and they were both in their mid-20s. So that used to be common. Like Nance got the job before he was 30. Like you'd hire that position, like Costas, and then that was it.
It was actually very cool, by the way. Bally Sports Midwest last Friday, Cubs Cards, which is if you live in one of those towns or you live in the state of Illinois, like it's a 50-50 state. I've never seen anything like it. Having lived there, like you're either for the Cards or you're against the Cards. Like it's a love-hate. And Chip Carey and Joe Buck called the game.
Oh, that's great.
It was cool because people forget that Harry Carey did Cardinals games before he did Cubs.
Well, but and also so it's going to sound crazy, but the voice I heard far more than Harry was Skip on Braves.
Yeah.
Yeah, on TBS.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that was the one that I heard all the time because of Superstation.
Yeah.
And the Braves were good. So you saw them. I saw them a lot more than I saw the Cubs when I was a kid. Even though the Cubs were on WGN, and they were on a lot too. But the Braves were always on.
Yeah. So they did the game
what does
last
Chip
Friday
Carey
night.
do now? What's his
He
gig?
is the voice of the Cardinals. I think he's the TV voice of the Cards.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I'll be danged. He is. So he worked alongside his grandfather in the late 90s.
Yep.
Then he went to TBS, where he earned a long-term contract, then Fox Sports South, and now Bally Midwest. On January 23, Carey will be the play-by-play announcer for the St. Louis Cardinals, taking over for Dan McLaughlin. I'll be dang. Did 105 Braves games from 09 to 13.
He was an up-and-comer and then just kind of faded off. He
Pretty
wasn't
good, though. Like he's been
Yeah.
same. I mean, Tom Brenneman for other reasons, but that's
Yes.
Sad.
yeah. I mean that's
How about
kinda the way it
how
goes.
about his dad is Skip and he's Chip? It's a great.
It's great.
It's like pretty-
Skip, Chip, and Harry.
Harry,
and
Skip,
and
Chip, and Chris. Chris
Will
is
Ferrell.
Will
One of
Ferrell.
his Harry Carey is an all timer.
Chip.
Like that's one of those ones where Harry Carey was omnipresent in our youth.
Oh my goodness!
I don't think that he's for sure. My kids don't know who it is at all, and I don't know if you were 20, would you know who Harry Carey is? My guess is no.
No.
I don't know. At some point, I've got to listen to this sound, but I guess Scotty Scheffler's attorney had some fiery responses after everything got settled outside
bet
the
he did.
courtroom.
So, by the way, Chip's son, Chris, they called an A's Cardinals game.
So he's
So it's fourth generation.
and he must be A's.
Let's see. Headed up to the booth Monday night in Oakland. Chip reunited with Chris on the field before each headed up to handle the play-by-play duties for their respective clubs. Chris is in his first season with the Athletics, and this marked his fourth game. Wow. 4 generations of baseball broadcaster. That's pretty incredible.
That's just. I mean, that's clearly just. Come on in.
Yeah, you got the name.
Yeah.
So you can
Don't suck.
I mean,
Yeah.
the odds are you're not going to suck anyways.
Right.
You would
You've
think
heard
you
it.
wouldn't. You've heard it your whole life.
Right.
Yeah. That's wild. Yeah, the Scheffler thing went exactly the way
Oh,
that
my
you knew
God.
it was going to go. There was just no way.
I just don't think they should have dropped it. I think they should have just kept no, we want our pound of flesh.
Yes.
You cost our guy the tournament potentially.
Crazy. It's crazy it went as far as it did, quite honestly.
I definitely wish they. Yeah, I'm. You wonder how much money was lost on that, or made by the sports books potentially, right? On all the people, Scheffler was the prohibitive favorite, and without that one round, he's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely would have been. All right, we'll do a little higher lower coming up next. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Hi, welcome back in. Cleveland Browns Daily. 850 ESPN Cleveland. Sunny days call for refreshing cocktails, which is why Basil Hayden's mellow, refined, and subtly sweet bourbon is the perfect choice for your summer entertaining. Basil's the approachable, lighter side of bourbon, distilled with a higher percentage of variety, give it a subtle spiciness, perfect for setting the tone for the season. From hosting backyard dinner parties to happy hours on the patio and beach days, enjoy time with friends in a more approachable, sophisticated way. Head over to basilhaydenbourbon.com to check out their cocktails for your next gathering. You know what you on a first Friday? As it gets warmer, go ahead and do like a Basil Hayden like this. Do it on the rocks with a little lemon twist.
I like that.
Really nice.
I like that.
Really nice in the summer months. There you go.
There it is.
Hello, Gibby.
Hi, boys. Be
Looks
sure
like
to
the
check
sun's
out
out, by the way.
What's that?
Sun looks like it's going to start to try and come out.
That's good. We got some business to take care of later on today at about 5:15.
You got big things happening. Is this big match day?
I'm at the top
First
of the
Friday
leaderboard,
match
kids.
day, and you're at the top of the leaderboard. You had yourself a week last week.
Playing well.
Out there hanging.
So it's like a
banners.
seasonal. It's seasonal standings.
Yeah. I'll be a paper champ because then I got to drop out for the playoffs because season starts.
No, if
that's
you're in the
not right.
playoffs, you gotta be there.
I don't
can't.
like that. Why?
Yes, you can.
Why?
I can't.
Yes, you can.
Why?
Dude, we have training camp. We've got.
None of that matters.
It's not at 5:30
I'll be in West Virginia.
for 1 week.
You have X number of days to make up a round.
They should give some leniency to the fact that you're the great Gibbe
Nah,
and you have
I
to go to
agree.
West Virginia. This is outrageous. It's
outrageous.
already known. It's already known right now.
Country
so
roads, take me home.
You can figure this out.
I just got an email from the club. Due to heavy rain, the golf course and the driving range are closed for the day.
What?
Closed for the day.
I better not get that in the next 2 hours.
No
Weather-
way.
The golf
Quite
course and
surly.
driving range will be open on Thursday, but closed.
Yeah, I think you
for
guys got
the
it way worse than I
it's-
think we did. Because it
That's a lot.
Yikes.
I don't think we got that
So that
up
probably
here.
got your place too there,
Yeah.
Dr. Z. You're slightly east of me.
Yeah.
Be sure to check out the Browns social media channels daily to play the Browns digital scratch-off game for your chance to win club seats and other great prizes presented by the Ohio Lottery, the official lottery of the Cleveland Browns, and the sponsor of Higher or Lower, presented by Keep It Fun Ohio, who reminds you to know the risks before you gamble.
There you go.
Better or worse?
Chris Sims is halfway through his quarterback rankings.
These are always comedy.
Number 20
Dude,
through
he's
number 40.
coming for us.
Boy, is he.
Oh,
And we'll
geez.
play some of this audio next week. Boy, is he. Now, I will say this. In the audio, he does say, Cleveland's got a squad. They've got the players. I just don't know about the quarterback right now.
Oh, you don't say you don't know.
Correct. We're all kind of in a holding pattern. In his top 40 QB rankings, now this is part one, so this is number 20 through number 40, he has Deshaun Watson at number 24.
Boy.
So, in terms of like guys who started in the league and are considered to be starters next year, the only people that Deshaun Watson is ahead are Will Levis at 26, Bryce Young at 34, and Gardner Minshew at 39. That's it. That's the list. So he has Deshaun Watson as the 28th
Like,
best
come on,
starting
man.
quarterback in the league.
Come on. How many guys
What
on
are you
this
doing
list are
here, man?
capable of going 14 of 14 on the road in Baltimore in the
Well, let's
second half? And
just look at
leading
the
this
three
team to a
guys in
comeback
front of him.
victory?
Come on now.
This is Daniel Jones is ahead of him.
Chris.
He's doing this because he knows it's going to
gonna
get
get clicks.
a lot of clicks. And
We love him. We have
Yes.
fun with him. The tomfoolery. It's always fun at the combine. You're stalking him. All of that. We love it. But at the same time, he is notorious for putting people to do these lists to create clicks and content.
Yeah.
Because
You want to make me do a list? I'll do a list
I'll
for
do
you.
a list. Watch this.
Yeah. Watch me nuke a bunch of stuff. You all right there?
listen,
Strapped a pen.
There
What
you go.
I'm
Good
saying
squad. Good
is-
form.
what I'm saying is I print this out and I hang this from Deshaun Watson's locker. I say, read this.
I'm sure he has. He's on social.
This is what's
I'm
being
sure
said.
he's
But
seen
yeah,
it.
I'd put it all over the building, everywhere.
He also lists our number 2 quarterback, Jameis Winston, at number 35.
I mean,
I'm
Jameis
gonna
is more capable than Bo Nix. Like if you were, you wouldn't, because if you're the Vikings, Denver, and Washington, you just drafted rookies. But like if I got one game to play, I'm going to roll with Jameis Winston over Bo Nix.
Right, Tannehill doesn't even have a team, and he's ranked ahead.
Got ranked ahead, yeah.
Come on.
By the way, Gardner Minshew almost took Indy to the playoffs last year in his 39th. I thought that one was absurd. I think it's wild that he believes. So Justin Fields got traded for like a bag of Doritos.
Yeah.
Purple or red?
Deshaun Blue, Cool Ranch.
Gross.
Gross? Cool Ranch was the best Dorito.
What's the purple?
It was purple.
Spicy.
I like spicy.
It's like a
Bootsy-
sweet. It's
Bootsy
a
open one of
spicy, sweet and sour. Not
Hey,
sweet and
there's
sour.
an icon for you.
There he is.
Shoot. I don't know. It's the best bag.
The kid would be losing his mind right now
Yeah.
in the studio.
There's an icon and a Heisman Trophy winner walking out the door.
That's right.
Spicy sweet chili. Thank you, Brock.
You didn't even know
Brock
what
went to
flavor
a
is.
concert last night. And lived his
Bootsy's
best
doing
life.
this
He's
thing
still
now.
out.
He sucked down. We were at the lacrosse on Sunday, and people bring like snacks, and he grabbed, because that's his. He's sucked down an icy, and then he's got chips here and half of a pop here, and it's just snacks everywhere. And you got so many other things going on. You're not monitoring him. So he grabbed a bag of the Doritos Spicy, and this is his move because he knows I'm big on not wasting things. So like I looked out of the corner of my eye, saw him take a bite, and I saw like that.
Too much.
And then he came over and he's like, Dad, you're going to love this. Try this. Just try it. No. Just try it. Like, no, I don't want to try it. I know what it is. You eat it. No, but just try it. Will you just try it? Here, Parker, you try it.
Yeah.
It goes to
Spread
anybody
it
that'll
around,
try
yeah.
it. Spread
Everybody
it around.
take a chip.
Everybody take a chip so that this doesn't
Take
fall
two.
at my
Yeah.
feet. So that Dad doesn't come at me for wasting an entire bag of chips. I'm a nacho cheese guy.
I love the nacho cheese.
That's my guy.
Old
That's my
school.
beat. You know what I like? I don't know if they still do it, but they used to a taco,
Oh yeah.
which I like, which is like in the
I don't
lighter
think they do
orange
it
bag.
anymore.
I like the taco ones too. That's the best chip. A Dorito is the best chip.
Oh, man.
All right.
I just, again, so he's saying that Daniel Jones and Justin Fields, the Giants would love to get rid of Daniel Jones. Justin Fields is not even a starter right now and got traded for nothing, even though you and I both don't get it. But that's where he's got Deshaun Watson.
At number 20,
I mean,
Here's the deal, and no one knows this more than Deshaun. Deshaun has not played a full season this will be the third year. It's been
Since
3 straight
2020.
years, right?
Yeah.
So it's been a long time since he's played a game and a season and played it without injury or suspension or sitting it out or whatever. So, like, all this goes away.
with a good season.
Go play.
Go play. Play a full season.
If he just – that's the thing that sucks is, like, the trajectory he was on last year before the injury, this is all put to bed.
Yes.
The way he started to play. It was done. We were moving
yeah.
off it. But because because the injury happened,
This is still ridiculous.
of course it's ridiculous.
This
Of
is
course it's
ridiculous.
I mean, he's
And I
got
love
Caleb
Chris,
Williams,
but
number
that's just
20.
ridiculous.
The number 1 pick in the draft, number 20.
Yeah, I mean, he had a rough week last week at OTAs. If you read what was
heard.
going on over in Chicago, not that means anything. Like, who cares? He is Caleb. I would be shocked if he's not good year one. I just think the circumstances he's in are as good as any of anybody who's come into the league. And he was a really clean prospect.
He's got some real
coming out of
talent with
USC.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good setup.
I mean, they've got Michael Penix Jr. at number 27.
He's got him ahead of Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix,
J.J. McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy.
That could be it. He's got him ahead of Bryce Young. What I think would have been really interesting is how Chris felt about Bryce Young coming out of Alabama, juxtaposed to 1 year playing in the biggest opportunity to fail in the league.
Yeah. He's behind Sam Darnold.
I mean, he still has Darnold ahead of Young.
Yeah, he's got Darnold.
Where is the guy that the Patriots drafted?
Oh, good question. Drake May.
Does he even make it?
Like he
Not.
thinks Jarek Stidham is better than Drake May? Like that the Patriots
Kenny
should have-
Pickett?
The Patriots would have been better off trading the 3rd overall pick for Jared
Kenny-
Stidham than drafting
Kenny?
Drake May.
Kenny Pickett over Drake May?
Like, how's Kenny Pickett ahead of Gardner Minshew?
That makes no sense. None.
Our guy Flacco's number 37. Brissett, number 36. So
Are you guys
who of
surprised?
former Browns
are
quarterback?
you guys surprised Joe didn't did not go to like a contender situation as the backup for a contender?
I think Indianapolis views themselves that way.
Do you? I don't.
No.
Oh, I mean, those over-unders, I mean, somehow they've got Houston at 9.5 as the leader.
Yeah.
And then everybody behind them are 8.
That's interesting because you would think when you hear just people talking about Houston, you think they're winning 13 games.
Correct.
People are hot on them,
Yeah,
for sure.
Which,
Some of that's the division. You know,
Yeah, but then for them to go under, they have to only win. They have to go 9-8. Like I feel like they're going to be better than that. It just feels like a weird over under for them. It should have been like at 10 and a half.
You put 4 rookie QBs ahead of Anthony Richardson, who I think I'm kind of excited to see Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I forgot even what we saw from him. It was so little.
Yeah,
He
but
was such
there
a
were
wild card at
flashes.
Florida. Yeah, he's going to be one where like the circumstances he's in are going to dictate the career more than most. Like if he's handled correctly, there's a
Richardson?
chance. Yeah.
Hasn't he not played a full season ever?
I mean, he's not
Like
even
since high school?
So just from like a polish standpoint, he's not even the same league as Fields coming out of Ohio State.
No.
Not even close. So I mean, he is a ball of clay.
Well,
that
Fields
kid.
is well ahead of him on this list. He's number 25.
Yes, yeah. But it's gone really poorly for Justin to this point.
Yes.
So it's just it's really tough. I don't know. Yeah, he's got.
It's interesting how much he hates Drake May.
Yeah, that he's not in the top 40.
I find it interesting
Penix
to be
is
positive
27.
if you're a Vikings fan. Your starting QBs are 30 and 33.
Yeah.
That's good for nothing. Your Broncos QBs are 29 and 40.
I mean, he loves Penix. Derek Carr 22. Russ 21.
Deshaun Watson behind Daniel Jones? I mean, the truth is for us to be what we want to be, when he makes this list next year, Deshaun has to have played 17 games and has to be a guy that's, in the top 12.
Yeah. Yeah. He does that, then you can go toe-to-toe with Mahomes and
That's why
see how it shakes out.
there used to be where this time of year for us was all about speculation. Oh, well, this guy could be this or that guy could be. And now it's all about what are we in September, October, November, December, January.
And you know what else makes it hard? That it's 2 years in a row, it's the same question.
Yep.
We basically have done 2 off seasons with the same tenor to them.
Yeah.
There's minor tweaks here and there. Like we don't have Nick now. We have Judy. We have some other things here or there. But like last year at this time, we didn't have any questions about our roster. None. Not really.
Nothing major. You
D
felt good
tackle
about
had to
it.
get filled out, but like you trusted
you felt-
Andrew Berry
you
to
felt
be able
good
to do
about
it.
it.
You knew who your ends were. You knew who. Yeah, offensive line was loaded. Like some of the faces has changed, but the feeling remains the same. And last year at this time, we were saying, well, Deshaun coming off, what's it going to look like?
Yeah.
Same thing here.
Yeah.
So it's just that's just where you're at. And so those questions aren't answered until next fall.
Until much further down the road.
Yeah. But I'm with you. I'm sure Deshaun has seen this. And I don't think he needs fuel, but
He shouldn't. No.
I think he's probably ready.
I think he believes in himself. I think people are underestimating. And if I end up being right and he goes on and has a great season, offensive change, all of that, I think people forget how much. Ask anybody who's a golfer, how much of that game is played between the years. And I think the fall from grace had a much bigger effect on his football confidence, not just his human being personal confidence, than people understand. And I won't forget that he said to me, I finally feel like me again after that Baltimore game. Now, we never got to see him play again, but I know you talked to a lot of the veterans. Rodney McLeod said I came back because of how we all felt after that Baltimore game, and we knew we could win. If he's got that confidence and that swagger, I think that it's going to take care of itself. He's still a very talented guy. We've got a talented supporting cast here. I think that he has a chance to be very, very good.
Couldn't agree more. So much more to come. Cleveland Runs Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Coming up tomorrow on the program, our good buddy, special teams coordinator, Mr. Energy and Enthusiasm, Bubba Ventrone, will join us on the show.
Oh, baby. It's going to be great.
Talk about the new kickoff rules with him, how he's going to implement it.
I mean, we can't get all the secrets, but he knows this is a special teams room. We've done a good job in here. We called the Myles Garrett field goal block.
Yeah, it's fact.
Fact.
Yeah. So he'll join us tomorrow on the program. Enjoy your first Friday. Act accordingly. The next level is coming up next. Thanks for listening, everybody. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.